Hey, oozes and bunnies. This is a preview of the most recent Party Planning, an extra podcast that the Join the Party crew makes for our Patreon. If you want to listen to the whole thing, go to patreon.com/jointhepartypod. Check out this preview.
Thank you, lady.
Thank you, lady.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Bow.
Hey, welcome to Party Planning. Do you like parties? We do sometimes.
That's
There's
true.
a cat in the kitchen.
That's right. That's right.
Sometimes party too much
Yeah.
party.
Yeah, for the cat and
Depends
for
on
you.
party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still think that the best place to be at a party is the kitchen. 'Cause,
100%.
like that's where it's in the mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get first
And
swipe with
if
those
you know-
apps.
Exactly.
Mm.
Exactly. If you know how to cook it all, you can find a way to like occupy yourself.
That's
So
true.
you don't
Yeah.
have to like socialize as much. Or you have
My
someone-
go-to is making people cocktails.
Yeah.
Or
Also good.
mocktails if that's your preference.
But I feel like people are coming to you and then maybe they'll leave, which
Yeah.
is like keeping the flow together
Exactly.
of the party in the first place.
You get
Yeah.
there.
100%.
I think it's also a thing where, like, if they're in the main room and then they pop in the kitchen, they're like, like it's always like a nice surprise that you're
It's
there.
like, oh, I'm here in the kitchen.
You're right. And they're like,
I
"This
have
is
a
my
knife."
office. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Your old apartment had a wonderful kitchen for parties.
yeah. It was
That's
like
true. Yeah.
S-shaped, and the living room was the middle section of the S, and the kitchen was like the top curly of the S, like right off the entryway.
Mhm.
And so there were always sub parties, one in the kitchen, one in the living room.
I
Mhm.
loved that sub party.
And if you need
Yeah.
to go, like I want to have like a one-on-one conversation where you talk about real shit for a second, that's what the kitchen's for, baby.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or maybe it's the kissing. Where you
Oh.
Someone walks in, you go,
Ooh.
kiss the cook, and they go,
Scandal.
no, thank you, and you're like, no worries.
That's why I asked.
That's a little different than what I was saying, Amanda.
Oh,
but
really?
I appreciate you
Oh.
you yes anding
You know,
what I said.
I should try to get into the party planning mood.
I think
Yeah.
that was what you were meant, Eric. I'm pretty sure that's what you meant.
I don't hey,
What's it
Brandon, Brandon, can I talk to you in the kitchen?
Are you guys
That's
gonna
not-
kiss?
That's not what I meant. Yeah, we're gonna kiss in the kitchen. Okay, but first, before we do that, actually, I want to tell one story that just reminded me.
Uh-oh.
I have a proclivity for eating food right out of like the pan that I'm cooking
Mhm.
in. So like I do it with eggs with breakfast all the time, is that I make like scrambled eggs and I'll just like use the spatula and put it directly in my mouth.
Yeah.
And like I love that. Standing and eating is one of my favorite things to do. I don't know. It's just like putting my bowl on the bar and eating there is the best. And I
Putting your
real-
whole energy into the act of eating. I like it.
exactly
I
because
think
like
it's just digestion, right? It's all just you're not scrunched up. It's all
in
just
there.
going.
Because also Amanda is the opposite, and this is also a family thing. This is what I'm getting to. Amanda sits on the couch and eats, which is like, and she's like balancing 10 bowls on her at the same time on her body while she's eating, and I'm like, I didn't know how to do that. No, that's dangerous. I'm gonna spill that. But apparently, I heard at one time, I guess we were like packing up my grandma's place because she moved to like a retirement home thing, and my mom shared that like her dad would say to her mom, so my grandma, to tell her to stop eating out of the pan all the time. And I'm like, it's a
Aw.
tradition. I do it too.
Whee!
And I feel that way whenever I eat standing up.
Aw, it's adorable.
Yeah. But apparently, and Amanda's siblings also eat while sitting down precariously. Well, there's like 5 cups of soup balancing on your knees at the same
Yeah.
time.
I do that too. Lauren does it too, but Lauren also has the spilling problem that you do, Eric. So it's much more precarious situation for her.
I like that Lauren does it anyway. That's
Yeah.
really impressive.
She's a risk taker.
When you're a 30 under 30 girl boss, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
That's true.
That's
Can
true.
confirm.
And that's why Amanda is
And Lauren eat on the couch.
That's why Amanda is and Lauren are juggling 3 cereals at the same time. Okay, hey, do you want to hear what we're doing today?
Yay!
Party for fun. If you don't care about me. No, it's not that. That's not what we're doing. We're doing it because Amanda, as my betrothed, just wins all the quizzes. We're doing something called Four of a Kind.
Ooh, good
Ooh.
title.
I came up with it, didn't write it down. It's called Four
There
of
we
a
go.
Kind.
Damn it, Eric. We need a trigger warning for that shit.
I know, trigger warning. I didn't write it down. I'm sorry.
Damn it.
So this is actually inspired by an episode of the Patreon of our favorite podcast, Hey Riddle Riddle. Hello, hi everybody who listens to both of them. They do this for groups of 3, where they assign themselves to groups of 3, and I really wanted to do this because I find groups of 4 more interesting in pop culture of the world than groups of 3, and I thought the 4 of us could do that. Where I'm going to lay out a group of 4, a famous group of 4 things, and we're going to decide which of the 4 of us are each of them. And we're gonna have fun as we do it, if that's
Love
okay.
it.
If it's
Great.
okay with you, that we have fun.
I love it.
May I throw out an idea of like head, heart, gut, and
Feet.
Spleen.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Spleen. That's good.
Spleen is good. Head, heart, gut, spleen.
I'm
is
going
what
to
you're gonna-
veto the feet just because that's a pretty loaded thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to have to call our lawyer.
No, I went
and
with
just talk
spleen.
about
I
feet.
pivoted at the
Okay,
end and
good,
said
good,
spleen.
Good.
Mhm.
And you don't have to put your perversions on us.
Yeah, Amanda.
Someone in the Big Brother house recently was like talking about wiki feet, and the woman was like, "What?" And he was like, "Oh no, I have a lot to
It's
tell
like
you.
I've revealed too much about
I've
myself.
revealed too much.
No.
Not about that he is a user, but just like, oh, I'm sure all our feet are on WikiFeet by now." And she's like, "Excuse me?" And he was like, "Oh God, you're so
Amanda,
young."
I didn't know WikiFeet was a thing until you said that. And then I said, oh,
No.
naturally it is.
Uh-oh.
But the fact that man did is
Um,
a problem.
I don't want to look at it, so
Don't.
and I doubt I'm on it because I don't have lots of photos of myself. But if
Brandon.
anyone finds me, just type yes at me with no context, and I'll know what you're talking about.
Oh,
I'm
Oh,
not looking.
no.
I'm not having wiki feet on my history,
yeah.
and I'm not going to
Thank
create
you.
a
I meant
private.
people
Incognito
listening
mode.
to
Go,
this.
go.
You don't need to know anything more. That is
Okay,
what it is.
Eddie. All right. Thank you, Amanda. We're not. This is head, heart, gut, feet, also known as Four of a Kind. See, this is why I said no Amanda's allowed earlier. She's on a wiki feet.
Look at that pout.
How
Look
that
what
pout
you
is so
did.
sad.
It's like a baby toucan. It's so
No,
sad.
it's been 5 years. I'm a nerd to
So
it.
sad.
No. Okay, fine. It could be head, heart, gut, feet. Fine.
Yay.
All right,
Spleen.
we'll talk about wiki feet for another 15 minutes.
No, no,
Fine.
no, no.
All right, we're doing Four of a Kind. We're going to assign each a thing. However, because there has to be a game element to them, I'm adding a game element to it. Each of us gets one veto, which I'm now calling the wiki feet token.
Or yes, but instead, veto.
I was about to say the wiki fito.
Oh no.
the wiki veto.
Why do I
There it
do
is.
this?
I want
The
to
wiki
wiki
Why do I
veto
do
this
this?
game.
Ikra, where
I
you
know
can-
you
where
fuckers too
if-
well.
where if you don't want to be one of these things, you can just veto it, and you immediately say, "I'm not blank." Right?
Right.
So you can do this in the beginning, right at the beginning, as being proactive, or you can do it reactively if we're assigning you to a thing you don't like.
If, for example, your betrothed says head, heart, gut, feet, and you say veto that, and then just everyone rags on you for 5
No,
minutes.
you can't. No, you can't veto the subject.
Oh.
You veto if I said, "Oh, Amanda's the feet," then you could say, "I am not the feet," and then you veto it.
Damn,
Good,
no.
Good.
That's the thing. So
All right.
you can so you want to get one, and remember you can only veto a choice someone is deciding you, not an actual one here. I have a
Whole
bunch
category.
here. Yeah, you can't veto a whole category. I have a bunch here. We can see how many we get through.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
If as long as someone's keeping time and tells me how much time we have doing this.
We have about 35 to 40 minutes.
Man, we really spent 20 minutes talking about feet, huh?
Whoops.
For like 10 minutes.
Man, we spent the whole. All right,
The
party
whole
planning's
time was
over. We
feet.
talked about the whole time was about feet.
Oh, the pout's back. No.
No.
How do you live with that pout in your home?
5 years, dude. 5 years.
I would literally die. I would just like, all right, you can have whatever you want. Just take anything.
Well, Brandon, you're haunted by a coffee ghost, so
That's
you're
your
a nerd
thing.
to different things.
That's your thing you're dealing with.
Yeah, just like Julia also doesn't think Jake has an accent.
I know he does. He doesn't think he does.
It's
I
so
know
funny.
he does.
Last night we were hanging out at the Hey Riddle live show, actually, and Jake was like, "Oh yeah, my grandpa," and then he did an impression of his grandpa that was just Jake's voice, and I was like, "Jake, did you think your grandpa had an accent?" It was great.
Okay, we're gonna do 4 of a kind.
Great, let's do it.
I think we also have the energy because the incredibly unhinged after party just came out.
Yeah.
So
really
everyone's
fun.
just like unhinged. So I feel like we're just letting our party planning
It's fine.
or our side quest
Mhm.
vibes just seep into everything we're
yeah,
doing.
this is like Wednesday night at the restaurant.
It's Wednesday at the restaurant.
You know what the bad thing is I did not think that after party was unhinged at the end.
I was
I
like,
did
this is
not
normal.
like it.
Yeah.
Well, it was at the beginning because we were like having a conversation and then we just were like, we need to start the episode.
So I realized when someone wrote up all the things we talked about, like Destille, tomato candles,
Yep.
and all those things together, I'm like, oh, I guess this was pretty unhinged when you sum it all
Crow
up.
gunk.
Sure
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, Krogunk. That was wonderful. Okay, we're doing 4 of a kind. I'm going to start with some not pop culture stuff.
Okay.
Just to get us into it. Let's start by us being the elements, the basic elements, maybe from airbending or from Avatar: The Last Airbender,
Sure.
or from the basic elements of the world: earth, wind, fire, and water.
Wata.
I think Amanda's water.
Mm.
Why
Like-
did Earth, Wind, and Fire stop with Earth, Wind, and Fire? And
Because they kicked a 4th guy out, Brandon, and now we don't talk about him anymore.
Then that guy joined Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
And
Yeah.
water.
Except
and
now
water.
it's Crosby, Stills, Nash, and water. This is going great so far. I
It's
don't
because
know.
Neil Young was super wet, and that's why
Oh.
they let him in. That was great. My favorite part was the accent work. If you like that, you got to hear the rest of party planning by joining the Patreon at patreon.com/jointhepartypod.